go to y'all. Sit down, grab a drink, and hold on to your wigs, because what just happened in that courtroom has shook the industry to its rotten, fake-smiling core. The moment those heavy double doors creaked open, you could feel the air shift. The courtroom was already packed, tense with anticipation, lawyers on edge, reporters whispering, the judge scanning the room like he was bracing for something, but no one was ready for this. She walked in, not a lawyer, not a prosecutor, not even someone listed on the schedule. It was Britney freaking Spears, but not the glammed up, Pepsi smurty, glittery goddess Britney we grew up dancing to. No, this was a different Britney, a woman who had been through hell. She looked fragile but fierce, nervous but unafraid. And when she took the stand, baby, she didn't come to play. She came to burn the entire system down. Her voice cracked, but it never broke. I was told to stay quiet for most of my life. They said it was for my protection. She started from the beginning, the night before the 2007 VMAs, the night we all remember, the night the media tore her to shreds. But behind the glitter and flashing cameras, Britney says there was something dark, calculated, and sinister. I went to a party thrown by Sean Combs. I was told it would be safe. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. She said it was supposed to be a light, friendly night. Some drinks, a few celebs, harmless fun. She wanted to perform well the next day. That VMA performance was her comeback moment, her rise from the ashes. But one drink changed everything. Diddy smiled, said, "Just one, you'll be fine." That was the last thing I clearly remember. I've written enough Betty Appears room that's writing. I woke into the world went black. She described the dizziness, the disorientation, the way the room spun. Laughter echoing, lights flashing, then nothing. When she woke up, it wasn't a hangover, it was something else, something deeper, darker. I wasn't drunk, I was gone. The next morning she had to perform. No recovery. No excuses. Her team shoved her toward the stage. The show must go on, they said. But Britney says now, that night was a setup, a trap. And Diddy, he was the one holding the strings. He had already chosen me as the next sacrifice, and I didn't even know it. She painted a chilling picture of that night at Pure nightclub inside Caesar's Palace. Flashing lights, paparazzi, Diddy circling the crowd like a king holding court, and all eyes were on her. It felt like a show, like I was being paraded around. It wasn't just Diddy. Britney name-dropped people tied to Tristar, the same firm that later helped lock her into a conservatorship for 14 years. One of them, Robin Greenhill. Robin wasn't just in the background. According to Britney, Robin was the one who quietly led her into the VIP lounge with Diddy before everything went dark. I trusted them. I didn't think I was in danger, but I wasn't protected. I was set up. One drink, a foggy memory, and the next morning, the biggest disaster performance of her career. Britney stood on that VMA stage, dazed and disoriented. She couldn't remember the choreography, could barely move. That glittery bra and shorts outfit, not even the one she picked. I remember saying, "This doesn't fit." Someone said, "Just wear it, you're fine." She wasn't fine, she was a puppet. And someone else was pulling the strings. From the moment the music hit, everything spiraled. The performance was a train wreck. Tabloids ran wild. The media had a field day, but Britney says none of it was an accident. They made sure I failed. And Diddy? Britney says she saw him sitting there in the crowd, smiling. I remember that look. It wasn't confusion, it was satisfaction. That performance, that meltdown, according to Britney, it was all by design. The chaos, the humiliation, the narrative that she was spiraling, it was a script, and baby, she didn't write it. They humiliated me on purpose, broke me in front of the world, and then used that to lock me away. She then turned to Diddy, finally, and said, "You started this, and now I'm ending it." The whole courtroom went silent. She had the courtroom in a chokehold, and she wasn't done. After dropping Diddy's name like a loaded grenade, Britney Spears took a breath. Her voice didn't tremble now, it cut. And the next words out of her mouth had every single suit in the room clutching their briefcases and their pearls. I didn't fall apart, they took me apart, piece by piece. Then she said it, the names. Lou Taylor, Robin Greenhill, Tristar Entertainment, the trio from hell, words that had haunted her fans for years, now spoken under oath. The second those names left her lips, Diddy's lawyers flinched. Everyone knew this wasn't just about a party anymore. This was about a damn system, one that Britney was finally blowing wide open. She told the jury what really went down after the 2007 VMAs. While the media laughed and the headlines screamed, Britney's lost it, her phone exploded. But not with support, not with sympathy. No, it was demands. Her dad, some guy named Larry, and the coldest voice of them all, Lou Taylor. She didn't sound like someone who wanted to help. She sounded like someone who'd been waiting, watching, hovering, whispering. They weren't helping me, they were rehearsing, practicing for something bigger, something worse. And then her voice dropped to a whisper that hit like a scream. They were setting up the conservatorship before I even knew what that word meant. Britney paused, then reached into a folder, and what she pulled out made the room freeze. A photo, not just any photo, a framed screenshot from the Hollywood Reporter. And guess who was in it? Lou Taylor and Diddy together. Same label, same circle. That's how they move. I didn't just end up with the team that stole my freedom. I was handed to them. Britney claimed that Diddy and Lou Taylor were already in contact right after her VMA disaster, that he called her too emotional, said she needed structure, and just like that, boom, her whole life began slipping through her fingers. She quoted texts, emails, even excerpts from Lil Rod's lawsuit, naming Robin Greenhill as the woman funneling money through secret wire transfers for Diddy's empire. And when Britney said this line, the jury gasped. They called her an accountant. I call her a handler. Then came the darkest part. She described being dragged from facility to facility, one in the Caribbean, then Malibu, then locked at home under strict, dizzying meds she never consented to. She was told it was for wellness, but all they did was drug me until I couldn't speak. Her voice cracked. Her eyes didn't. I wasn't drinking, I wasn't partying, I was surviving, and they treated me like a criminal. She had no control over her schedule, her meds, her own money. And the only visitors? Tristar reps and her dad's lawyers. And guess what? Diddy's financial advisor was copied on the emails. Ask yourself why my money was connected to the man who gave me that drink. Then the courtroom got ice cold. They didn't just monitor me, they recorded me. Britney said her phone tapped. Her messages to her kids tracked. Her Google searches flagged. And if she looked up her own name too many times, they'd lock her iPad. Oh, but it gets worse. They had cameras in every room, even my bedroom. I wasn't allowed to shut the door. She claimed black box security worked with Tristar, that Robin Greenhill created mirror iCloud accounts to spy on every move, that ex-employee Alex Vlovov risked his life to expose it all. They didn't just track me, they collected proof of my weakness so they could keep me quiet. Then she dropped a bomb that left everyone reeling. One of the tapes included footage from the VMA rehearsal. I broke down, said, I can't do this. That footage, they used it to convince my lawyers I was unstable. And the cherry on top, that party. That cursed night at Pia nightclub. Britney asked if there was any footage. She was told no cameras. But now she knows it was saved, maybe even used. You said you were trying to help, she said to Diddy, but I was the one locked in a room. I was the one who lost 14 years of my life. Then she turned to the jury. They saw the clips, the meltdowns, the memes. But that wasn't me. That's what they did to me. And baby, she wasn't done. By this point, the courtroom wasn't breathing. Every soul in that room, jurors, lawyers, even the judge, was frozen, eyes wide, mouths half open. And right there, standing in the middle of it all, like a phoenix in heels, Britney Spears. No longer a pop star, no longer a headline, a mother, a woman, a survivor, and what she said next. You know what's worse than losing your mind? Being told you did when someone else caused it. She took the jury back to the morning of September 9, 2007, the day of the VMAs, the day the world turned on her. She woke up trembling, her limbs weak, her thoughts scrambled like TV static. I wasn't hungover, I was tampered with. After the disastrous performance, she was rushed back to her hotel. And that's when she said she got the call from the devil herself. Lou Taylor. You need structure, Lou told her. We can help you. That word, structure, would become the hammer they'd use to cage her. Within days, Britney said her legal documents started mysteriously changing. Suddenly, strangers were managing her health, her bank accounts, even her ability to leave the house. But then Britney dropped the quote that will go down in court history. Diddy called Lou directly after the VMAs, told her I was too far gone, said the public saw what they needed to see. Let that sink in. Britney paused. She swallowed hard, then looked right at the jury. That's how fast it happened. One night, one performance, and suddenly I didn't own my life anymore. But there's more. Britney testified that someone tried to reach her that night. A worker from the venue, someone who saw her collapse backstage and tried to report it. But their call never made it through. I was told later Diddy had connections with every major media outlet covering the VMAs that year. So instead of truth, we got the spin. She's out of control. She needs help. She's a mess. And that was the green light for everything that came next. I didn't break down. I was taken down. Then the courtroom shook. Britney dropped the bomb no one saw coming. I was told for years no footage existed of that night, but they lied, and I saw it. She revealed that toward the end of her conservatorship, a former Tristar employee contacted her anonymously, and what they sent her? Raw UNCT security footage from the night of September 8, 2007, from Diddy's Pure nightclub party. The footage never went to hotel security, it went straight to Diddy. Britney described the video in detail. You see her dancing, laughing, then a man in a gray suit hands her a drink. That man? One of Diddy's close assistants, later identified in press photos. Within minutes, Britney is stumbling, slurring, then sitting, then surrounded by men. I didn't walk out of that club. I was let out. The footage cuts before anything else is shown, but Britney swears it was enough. It proves I wasn't in control, that something happened and they knew it, she says. That very same footage was shown to Robin Greenhill inside Tristar's office, not to help her, to use against her. They stored it like a trophy. Then, Britney's hands began to shake, but her voice did not. That wasn't the only tape. I was told they had dozens, not just of me, of other girls at parties, in hotels, in bathrooms. She said the tapes were called insurance reels, and Diddy had access to all of it. He didn't just film me, he kept me. She turned to the jury again. Do you understand now why I couldn't speak? Why every time I tried, they had something to hold over me? Then the line that broke the room, that VMA performance, it wasn't a meltdown. It was evidence, and they used it to lock me away. At that moment, Britney finally turned, locked eyes with Diddy, and said, "You watched it all happen. You let it happen, and now you don't get to hide behind champagne and lawyers." Then she did something no one expected. She pulled a crumpled, handwritten letter out of her coat, folded, worn, aged by time. A letter, she said, she wrote in 2009. "I wrote this to Diddy. I never got to send it." She unfolded it. The paper shook. Her voice? Solid. "I hope it was worth it, whatever they promise you, because you helped them hurt me. I don't know if you'll ever admit it, but I know you did. I saw it in your face the night you toasted me. You knew I was being set up. And you smiled." Silence. Pin drop silence. Even Diddy didn't move. Couldn't. Because for the first time ever, he was the one being watched. Then Britney folded the letter, tucked it back in her pocket, and looked up. "I'm not doing this for money, not for fame. I'm doing this because I want my kids to know the truth. Their mother wasn't a failure, she was framed." And she turned to the judge. "For 14 years, I begged someone, anyone, to listen. Now you have. Don't look away again." She stood up. The courtroom didn't clap, didn't cheer. It just sat, frozen, shattered, changed. Because Britney didn't just tell her story, she exposed the machine that tried to erase it. And Diddy couldn't say a single word.